This is day 48, and today me and my duo ended up playing 10 scrims, which is really good, and we won two of them. I mean, it doesn't really matter how we do in the scrims because they're just practice. We want to see, we want to try out new things, and we want to test our limits of what we can do and what we can't do, and test out new things. So the results don't really matter at the end of the day, but what I did today was I made a Discord server for me and my duo where we can write down all of our mistakes and flaws and the solutions to them so that every single mistake we make is accounted for and we both know what it is, and we're going to make sure that it's going to be fixed at some point and that stops happening. And from now on, I was the one who was VOD reviewing every tournament alone, and I would tell him what he should do, but I realized it's just better for us to both VOD together after every scrim and tournament because there's a lot of small things that we can go over that I can't just tell him, and to show him is much easier than telling him. And also, there's a lot of things he can tell me that he thinks I can do better. So that's going to be really productive for our VOD reviewing. And he's not going to appear in the videos, but it's going to really help our gameplay. And I think we're going to improve a lot over the couple coming weeks. So in this game, the mistake we make, or I make, is very simple. So we see this guy is getting like absolutely lobbied. So I tell my teammate to get a pre, and then we pre-edit him. And it looks good, right? We got the body. So I go after the body. My teammate's chilling. But he gets dropped down into a box. So the mistake was pre-editing on other people's floors and cones. Simply, we should have just went this way. This is our wood floor that we placed earlier. Go from here and pre-edit. Because if this was a duo and if they were better, they would have dropped us down much earlier and we would have both died. Luckily, he gets out and he doesn't die, but this could have been very bad. So this isn't really a mistake, but it's something that would speed up the process of pre-editing. Is when I call for a pre-edit, so I want to do a front pre-edit on this team, obviously when I say it, there's a delay, like the internet delay from when I say it to when he hears it in his headphones, and also there's a delay from when he hears it to when he actually starts making the pre-edit. So something we could do to speed up the process, because every second, every millisecond is important in endgame when there's not a lot of time, is when I call the pre-edit, I break the middle wall. See, I'm calling it right now, and then he decides to start breaking it. If I would have called it and broken it, all he has to do is hold his blueprint out and then get the pre-edit. It's just something that would make it a little bit faster so that there's less clutter, and it would make the pre-edits faster. And most of the end games that I play, I have a very bad timing in terms of the rotate. So right now there's 29 seconds left on the clock. And my goal is to reach center dead side and not be stuck on edge on first and second moving. So from what I've seen, center first moving opens at around 20 seconds. And right now it's 29 seconds. So for us to run from here to there would not take 10 seconds. So we should wait a bit. And once it gets like 25 seconds, I think it's perfect for us. Start running. And then by the time we get here, it will be around 20 seconds, right? And once we're here, look how many teams we can pre. We can pre this guy. We can pre this guy. We can pre this guy. Like, there's so many people we can pre. But instead, I take a very bad timing. I leave at around 15 seconds, which means by the time we get into zone, the time we box up and we're chill, we only have 7 seconds left. And a rule is like, with 3 seconds left, you need to be scouting, not shooting your gun, not reloading, not healing, ready for the rotate for wherever it pulls. So we realistically only have 4 seconds to do anything. And with 4 seconds, you can't do much. So we can't get refreshes, and we're just stuck here. And that's the problem, is that we took a bad timing. I left way too late. If I would have left 10 seconds earlier, we would have been in this same position, but much earlier, so we could actually get kills. Mistake we make on this pre-edit, or again, the mistake I make, it's not my teammate. The mistake I make is when pickaxing for this. Obviously, he has the pre-edit, so he's going to have to hold for the last pickaxe. We're breaking, but then I mistime the wall breaking, so I pull out my shotgun here. If I actually break this with my pickaxe, I swear to God, we get this wall, and we get the back wall, and his teammate's not with him. This is a guaranteed kill for us. But what happens is that I have to pull out my pickaxe again. He's able to flip his cone and place a wall, which makes it so we can't get this kill. And I end up taking damage. So literally that one little thing of me pulling out my shotgun too early was literally the problem. So the fix is just keep pickaxing. Like, stop trying to switch your shotgun too fast. Like, I'm just trying to probably get ready to shoot him. Literally just pickaxe. My teammate will kill him, and we will kill him together, obviously, but I need to make sure that I don't fuck up the pickaxe, because that is the most, like, the worst thing I could do. The mistake I make here that ends up getting my teammate killed is not having proper comms. Obviously, in the replays, I can't show you my comms, but I was able to go back in the VOD of my stream and see exactly what I said. So first, we heard them drop down somewhere, like we heard their footsteps, and I reset this. He takes my wall, and the exact comm I say right here is on me. Then I said, "I'm good, get out." That's what I said. So my teammate hears on me, and he thinks, okay, there's a guy on him. I'm going to go to him to see if we can get a kill. So that's the right thing. He did the right thing. But he got punished for coming in here because I didn't communicate that. I should have said, yo, he took my wall. If I said he took my wall, he wouldn't come into my box. He would probably sit on a right-hand peak and try to shoot them back or make space out, like, to the side. But because I had the wrong comms, he came into the box and then he died. What I do in this endgame that gets us killed is pretty stupid, but nevertheless, it's still a mistake. So I'm scouting through my cone here. I try to pump this guy. So then I place walls here, but I start shooting other people, and I forgot to reset my tops. Like, I just kept it open, and I simply just placed walls up here, and this duo saw that, and they tarped over, and they just simply broke the metal wall in 2 swings because it was just placed, and then they just 200 pumped my teammate. All I had to do was placing these walls was fine. Just reset the cone in the floor. Like, your tops is the most vulnerable, even if it has 2 pieces. So if it only has 1 piece to cover yourself, then obviously you're gonna have really bad awareness on it. So this fix is super simple. Just literally reset this floor and cone on top, and we would have been fine. This game is another communication mistake. So we have a knocked body here, but we started to get lobbied. So I knew instantly I had to get out and go to a spot where I couldn't get lobbied while still trying to focus on getting the body. So I actually make the right play. If this was solos, this would be the perfect play. But this is a team game mode, and I am the leader of the team. And what I do is I get out of the box and I make the right play. I go to the right spot, but I don't communicate to my teammate where I am. And he is getting lobbied, and he's getting pre-edited, and people are trying to fight him. And he's like panicking, right? Because so many things are happening. And he doesn't know where I'm at. He's trying to look for me, but he's getting pressured. I need to tell him, like, yo, I'm going out. I'm on low ground, like left side low. That comm probably would have helped them, even if he still died or took a lot of damage. It would have helped them at least try to get to me. But I didn't say a single word. Like, I literally said nothing. I said, all right, I'm gonna get out, and I didn't say anything. Like, yeah, I have 4 kills, and I ended up killing this duo. But it doesn't matter because my teammate ended up dying because of me, because I didn't comm where I was going, and he just didn't know where to go and he was running in circles. The mistake I make this game is more of a fighting mistake than a game sense thing, but it's not mechanical at all. So I see that I'm getting keyed, and my first instinct is to make space back, which is good. But the mistake I make is making boxes out to the right instead of boxes to the left. So let's say I made a box to the left, I can make a peanut butter and then a 6 tile edit right here and sit on a double right hand. So then even if they try to pre-edit me, I'm good. I'm sitting on a right hand. I could probably hit one for 100, and then we just go to zone. But I go this way. How are you going to right hand peek from here? You could say, okay, you can edit this and do this, but you're susceptible to getting sprayed. And also, it's just not as good as if you're over here. So just literally me making space out to the right here instead of the left was literally the reason why this pre-edit actually worked. Like, if I would have made space over here, look, I would have pumped him. There's nothing you can do. This is a really silly mistake that most of the time won't matter, but the little details really matter in Fortnite. And this little thing of me sitting in a half box to try to jetpack from it is actually like a mistake. Because I try jetpack here, and I end up bumping into my teammate because we're in a half box and we don't have enough space to jetpack from. So then I get my jetpack canceled, and I literally have to rotate this whole zone on foot. And obviously I was able to survive and we ended up winning this game, but it doesn't really matter. It still costed us a lot of mats and heals, and he could have died when he was solo. I could have died when I was solo. So those small things actually matter. Like, just build the full box and just invest the mats.